what we're going to do is we're going to go to Schmidt Resources first, because I want to show you within Schmidt Resources where you can find a link to view this PDF. So all you have to do is go into any of your regions, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, Virgin Islands, and click on the region. And right down here, if you scroll down, look for the signs with Woodland Schmidt on them, and it says for sale signs and sign accessories. So if you click on this square, it's going to take you to a PDF that we're going to look at in a second, but I want to look at some of the instructions up here real quick. Click below to download a PDF. For new for sale signs for offices specifically. So this process we're going to look at is for agents. If an agent wants to go in and order customized signs with their information and stuff like that, that's what we're going to look at. If you as an ASC or a manager want to order signs for your office, some more general ones with less information. Oh, Trace, you here?
I'm here, JD.
All right. Well, you take over. I was just showing Schmidt Resources where the PDF is. That's where we got to.
Yeah, awesome. So I heard what you were saying. So today what we wanted to really go over is how agents can access our specific D-Sign portal to order their for sale signs, okay? And we'll talk about how offices do it at the end. But what you're looking at in Schmidt Resources today is really the different sign designs that are available in case an agent wants to kind of review those before they go and order. But we'll go right into the D-Sign portal if you wouldn't mind. JD, are you ready?
Yes. So in order to get there, guys, we're going to go to Moxie. And right on the Moxie hub, there's the single sign-on directly into D-Signs. So I'm going to get...
Now you want to go to our hub through here. You don't want to go through CB Desk. You don't want to go to dsign.com. You want to go right in through Moxie into our specific portal where it has our Schmidt pricing for our agents across the company.
So we're going to log in here and voila.
All right, so you can order your luxury signs here. You can order your residential signs, your accessories, feather flags, open house tent signs, anything that you need. So JD, let's go ahead and pretend like we're placing an order. Let's pretend that you're the agent and we're gonna go in and order some signs, and we're gonna walk through that process.
So I'm gonna look at some two-tone blue and white hanging sign panels because mine got beat up at my last listing. Can't tell you why. I need some new signs. So we're gonna click in there. And here are our options. Now, one thing that Tracy and I both noticed when we were running through this earlier this week, if your agent, which most of the time they are going to be, if they're looking for stuff with their name and information on it, you want to make sure they scroll down a little bit. Because these first ones here are more general office DBA and phone number. And once you scroll down, you're going to see this is where I can have one with my headshot with a different symbol here with my name and stuff like that. So make sure they scroll down a little bit. And we're going to, not zoom in, but we're going to click on this guy here. So, Trace, do you want me to walk through these steps here, or do you want to kind of explain the things that we want to click in terms of...
Yep, so, okay. Yep, you're just going to follow the steps, really, right? So there's a 30 by 24 sign option. That's the one that JD selected. It's an oversized panel. They get the headshot on there. It's just really got an amazing presence, right? So you have the option as an agent to choose 24 by 24 or 30 by 24. We're seeing our agents go with the oversized. Now, you can see the 5 steps to the right. You just got to fill out the steps. So when an agent places an order, or even an office for that matter, it's a minimum of 3 signs. Okay, that's the minimum. You can do 4, 5, 7 after that, but the minimum is 3. That's why it defaults to 3, okay? It'll break down the cost. It shows you where the price breaks are, so that as an agent, they can make a good decision. So now let's talk about choose a material. So the material that we prefer is the Durabond HD, which is the second one. However, an agent can choose whichever material they would like, okay? Now the reflective Durabond HD means all of the letters that are on that panel are going to be reflective. So at nighttime, when a car drives by, it's going to light that up, okay? You're going to be able to see that sign. But the product that we prefer is the Durabond, okay? And then the reflective Durabond will give us that extra light. Now here's the options. Do they need two eyelets, extra eyelets at the bottom? Some agents will hang a rider at the bottom if this is hanging on a post and arm. They'll maybe want to hang a rider down below, and JD's showing you the picture where there's two grommets on the top and two on the bottom. If they need two on the bottom, they would just select that, okay? And then just continue to go through the list. Choose the design. Do you want the design with 1-line DBA or 2-line DBAs? And then you just continue to go through that process to check out.
And I specifically clicked this one instead of a headshot one because I didn't want to have to go through the part of adding a headshot in. But that's all they'd have to do. If they want one with the headshot, it's going to ask them for the for the headshot basically. So then we're going to go here to the click here to design it, because that is going to ask us for that information. What is the info you're going to add here? You know, select company. Make sure you select your agent selects their DBA. As always, make sure they get the right one there. Nice and beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm going to put my phone number. I know, right?
Mm-hmm. See how it's designing right there? So there's the agent's design proof. They're actually seeing their design proof while they're creating their sign in the portal. We typically don't do the www. We just do cbgreatlegs.com. There you go.
All caps, like that.
Now in the state of Michigan, oh, you get that away. In the state of Michigan, you know, you're required to put your broker address on there. So we get that broker address right along the bottom. All right. So, and let's go ahead and continue. We can do add to cart.
And keep in mind the site is, it's a powerful site. It's just a little bit outdated in design sometimes, so it takes a little bit longer. So there we go. So you can see the ones that we were doing earlier, which is almost exactly what we did now. So then, basically now you have a cart. And one thing to remember if you guys look at this, and I believe this is still true, Tracy, the discount code that we're going to show you guys is only good for an agent's first order.
That is correct.
So,
it is one discount code, and it's only good for your very first order.
So if they're thinking they're gonna want a few, if they're thinking they may, or if there's an agent going in and getting some luxury signs and some residential, for money purposes, try to make sure they get as many of them in one order as they can, because the more they spend, the bigger the discount, and the discount's only good the one time. So we go to proceed to checkout, because I got my 2 batches of signs here. And then down here is basically your info, shipping info, payment info, your pretty standard stuff in terms of ordering something online. Right here, it says apply promo. We're going to show you guys that code in a second here, but I did see a couple chats come in, so I want to make sure I go to those. 30 by 24 assumes that they have the new frames that fit the sign. We do have older frames. So Suzanne, that may be an office to office sort of thing. Trace, is what frame sizes each office has. Yeah. So
the frames that your offices have are probably the old size. So let's go back. So a 30 by 24 is a brand new size option that came out with the rebrand. Historically, the panel size was 22 by 24, okay, for offices. So the majority of your frames, yard sign frames, are 22 by 24. Now, when the brand released the new mark, they discontinued the 22 by 24, and the office panels went at the smallest size to a 24 by 24. Typically, an office is not going to buy a 30 by 24 sign. That's really what an agent is going to buy for themselves with their agent branding on it. So the agent would buy a complete sign. They would buy the 30 by 24 panel, and then they would get the yard sign frame with it. If they wanted a yard sign frame, they could choose rider space on the bottom only, or rider space on the bottom and the top. They can choose black, blue, or white yard sign frames. That's also the same for post and arms. If they choose a post and arm, they can choose black, white, or blue. So 30 by 24s, we definitely don't have yard sign frames unless an office has been buying those.
And then who was it? Oh, Sarah was asking, is there a way to find out shipping and tax before placing the order? No, Sarah, you got to kind of bring it through to the cart. Because that's where it's going to calculate based off of the number of signs, the weight, exactly. Yeah. So, and they'll show that in the next part. So the final part that we wanted to kind of show you guys is what the discount code is and where you can find that, because we have that, of course, right here in Schmidt Resources. So like I was showing you guys earlier, you go to any of your regions, you click on for sale signs and sign accessories. It's going to bring you here. And then right in this PDF, if you click on this, if you click on the text down here, it's going to bring you to an updated PDF, one with instructions to go through everything we just showed you. So if after the first couple of pages, you're going to see sign into Moxie, click on Hub, and it's going to walk you through the process of ordering those signs. But secondly, on these first few pages, you're going to see the coupon code and what the discount is. So the code is Schmidt. Hopefully it's pretty easy to remember. $20 off 150 or more, $50 off $400 or more. And keep in mind, this is good through the rest of 2021. So this is, that's 6 months away, but quite frankly, the past 2 months have gone by in a flash. So I feel like it's going to be December before we know it. Yeah.
And remember, that's an additional discount. We've already got pre-negotiated pricing in place, taking in consideration our volume for the Schmidt family of companies. This is just an additional incentive for the agent to go get their signs with the new mark on them. So it's just giving them a little extra, an extra $20 off or an extra $50 off, just to go get their new signs. Because really, we have to get these signs retired that have the old mark. We have to get them retired. So talking to our agents about getting their branded signs, it's just a little extra gift for them, okay? Yes, C21 can use the code as well, Michelle. This is for the Schmidt family of companies. Yep. You would go in through the same portal within Moxie, and you would connect right into our portal, and you would select the C21 option.
And then Sharon says, will the system recognize if the one-time code is used more than once by an agent? Yes. Yes. You're not going to sneak one past them. Yes. They're pretty smart. So we're at 9:40. So keep rolling the questions in, guys. The other thing I wanted to talk about real quickly while you guys ask questions is for office signs, because the process is just slightly different. If that's right, Trace. If you want to go over that quick, and let me make sure we're all.
Yeah, I can hear somebody talking. So we've got another question here. Are all of these options compliant with the state? Yeah, so here's the thing, you guys. Each agent has to prepare their signs. If they're going to go in the agent portal and do it themselves, they have to know what's required in their state for compliancy, right? And they learn that when they go through their real estate license course and take their test, right? This is called advertising. This is the advertising section of their license. So each state has different rules, and the agent needs to know what their state compliancies are, because that's part of the responsibility that they have by being licensed. So no, it's not going to automatically populate what that state requires. The agent needs to design their sign in the portal following compliance. So, like for example, in Michigan, you have to have the broker address. You don't have to have the broker phone number, but you do have to have the broker address. Okay, I personally like it better when there's one phone number on the sign, and it's the agent name, it's the agent phone number, and then the broker address. And the broker address is really small across the bottom, so it doesn't take up a lot of space on the sign, and it allows them to be compliant. So another question that came through, which is actually a really good one, are there any plans for old signs to be recycled? We really have to look at that at the local office level. You almost need to look in your communities and find out if your recycling centers will take those old signs, just tell them what type of product it is, and rally them up and make it a team effort and get those signs over to the recycling center. We haven't been able to put together a company-wide joint effort because it kind of really needs to be more localized, if that helps. Let's see. If an agent had bowed signs, so Jennifer Green is saying that I have an agent whose order came through panels heavily bowed. If any of the product ever arrives to an agent damaged, it typically happens during the shipping process. It's certainly not a design quality issue. It most likely got damaged during shipping. And if that's the case, have the agent come to me and I'll get replacement panels set immediately out to that agent at no charge. But that's not a quality issue. I don't want people to think that D-Signs isn't producing phenomenal signage, because they are. That's why we've selected them as our partner. It's because of the shipping process, something went wrong, and D-Sign will absolutely replace those panels at no additional charge to the agent. Okay? All right, so I know we're going over time. I'm going to add in 2 more things. If an agent finds this process of doing it in the portal themselves a little confusing, maybe even a little frustrating, and they're just not getting through it, I work with agents every single day, and I place sign orders for them every single day. I present them with a design proof, I present them with a quote, and they go ahead and decide if that's the proof they need and the quote, and we take care of everything. So I am always happy to place orders for agents, and they can bypass the D-Sign portal. So they have 2 options: go into the D-Sign portal and do it yourself, or reach out to me and I will do it for them. They're gonna still get their extra Schmidt discount, because I'm always gonna put that in their quote as well, okay? So that's one option. Now I'll also tell you, as offices, as you continue to get new office panels and things that you need in your offices, again, those go directly through me. Go ahead and send me an email with how many you need, what's on them, what they need to look like, which design the office has selected, and I will do the same thing for you. I will present you back with a design proof, and then I will also present a quote for approval. And then once I've been given the thumbs up on everything, we're going to put those into production and get them over to you. Okay? All right, any other questions? Anybody, any other questions that we can answer for you? All right, if all else fails, just come right to me. Okay, just come right to me.
Tia just asked.
Tia sent a one through that says, how long does it take to get signs? It all depends. So typically, if we go through the proofing process and go to approval, those will go into production. They usually take about 3 to 5 days to produce, and then they have to go through shipping. So it could take 2 weeks or less, because all the signs are created custom, right, and produced custom. So I would say when you're planning to get your signs, you should give it 2 weeks. Shipping is really the biggest unpredictable part right now. I see all the shipments when the signs go out, and we get a lot of notifications from UPS that they're delayed. So the shipping is the biggest thing that can really kind of screw up that timing. So try to just order them as early as you can, okay? All right, if all else fails, come to me. Send your agents to me. You guys come to me. We'll make sure you get your signs exactly the way you need them, okay?